Hey everybody, how's it going? Well, as you know, Bethesda has added mounted combat to the game of Skyrim. Now, this is a wonderful addition, and it actually adds a huge in-depth strategy to the melee attacks in Skyrim. Now, this video is intended to show people how it works and basically what's the advantages and disadvantages of it. First, I'd like to talk by explaining what type of horse is the best. Well, obviously the best horse to drive for mounted combat is of course Shadowmare, and I'll just show that in a second. So obviously this is Shadowmare in case you haven't seen it yet. So you get this in the Dark Brotherhood quest, and Shadowmare has the largest amount of health and the fastest stamina regeneration. So obviously this is the best choice to have. The second best choice would be Frost, who has the second highest amount of health and has a pretty good stamina regeneration ability. And I generally prefer Frost since with my melee characters I don't generally join the Dark Brotherhood. So let's also start off with the main attacks. With any weapon you have, any melee weapon you have with the any melee weapon you have on horseback, you can use two main attacks. Swing to the right, swing to the left. Now, if you hold the left trigger, it will hold the attack, and when you let go, it does a power attack. And see, it actually loses stamina when you do that. Now, when you do the right, you can do the same with the right trigger. Now, let's talk about the weapons. You can use any melee weapon you want in for mounted combat. However, in my experience, the best weapon to use is a longsword. And I will show why. This is a longsword, and you can see how much stamina it takes away, right? Now let's compare this to, say, a battle axe. See, it takes longer to swing, and look how much stamina it takes away. Now, obviously the one for the biggest hits is the Warhammers. And for all you Warhammer fans, hitting with a Warhammer is generally not difficult, but look how much stamina it takes. It goes away. So the most important key here is timing. So let's talk about one-handed weapons. And you can use one-handed weapons for actually attacking while on horseback. You can even use a dagger if you want to roleplay as a hobbit, but I wouldn't really see why you would want to do that. So use the blades, and you can see it moves really fast and takes away little stamina. So this is great if you want to fight against a huge crowd rather than say a few tough enemies. But preferably when you're fighting on horseback, it's best to choose the greatsword. Now let's talk about ranged. I don't know about crossbows in the Dawnguard expansion, since I don't have that out yet, and this is on the PC. But let's talk about the bows. Generally, as you can see, you can only shoot in third person. Now, this comes as an inconvenience for most people, since not many people are really used to fighting in third. And also, as you notice, I don't actually have the perks to make the Eagle Eye slower. So, one of the most important things you have to do when you are planning on making a character that's focused primarily on horse combat is you have to make them be able to have the steady hand perk right here. Now let me just show you for a second why this is important. So as you can see here, I'm just adding the perk temporarily, just to show you why it's important. as you can see, it slows down time, and this greatly helps when you're trying to aim. Otherwise, it's nearly impossible to aim, especially when you're going really fast. Now, now it takes a lot of practice, and the best place to practice this is actually where I am right now, in the fields near Whiterun. Since this is an open plain, and you're unlikely to actually fall off any cliffs, and there are a lot of giants and mammoths to practice on, since they're very easy targets. So let's set our sights on this one dragon here, one giant here. So let's try to shoot him again, and this time let's try to move a bit. So there we go. Now let me show you what melee would look like. So as you can see here, it's harder for him to hit me actually, but the key here is timing. So, well, Vidkus took care of that for me, but as you can see, you need to time your hits very well. Otherwise you can end up using a lot of stamina, especially if you do a power attack. So, like I said, the greatsword is the best weapon to use for mounted combat, and generally enemies which are the easiest to defeat while in mounted combat are the Forsworn NPCs. Why is that? Because they tend to use bows and arrows a lot, and you can avoid arrows much more easily than you can avoid other weapons. So killing Forsworn is actually not that much difficulty anymore. However, the characters that's going to be the most difficult to attack are magic-oriented characters, since it's really hard to avoid their attacks. So let's talk about one thing we're all wondering. What about fighting against dragons? Well, here's one thing. Fighting against dragons is actually, while on horseback, is actually not very easy. Since it's however, there are advantages while fighting against dragons. First off, you can easily avoid their breaths and simply just dash away. But the hardest thing to do is to actually hit the opponents. So the key here with attacking a dragon is to be able to invest as much as you can in the marksman perks. Since that's the best way to swoop in. Well, now that I've got this dragon's attention, let's start the battle. Oop, looks like several people are going to join. So let's see how this goes. Oh, 2 ogres. Well, I got him, so... But the main focus is the dragon. As you can see, I managed to avoid the attack pretty easily, but the problem was actually trying to hit him, especially with a melee weapon. So, and yes, the dragons can actually do the one move finishes on you while you're still on horseback. However, that happens rarely unless you go really close. So that's it for the horse combat tutorial. Leave your comments below on how you found this. What else would you like explained? And I don't have the Dawn Guard DLC at the moment since I'm on the PC. However, I can show you more stuff on horse combat. Hopefully this video was helpful for you. So, see you around, guys. Bye!